This is Newcap News with Lauren Pullen.
Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. 2 people have been sent to hospital following a serious crash south of the border city. This was the scene on Highway 17 near Township Road 480 just after 2 p.m. this afternoon. A witness tells Newcap News it appears one of the pickup drivers may have crossed the center line and crashed into the other. There was no word on the extent of injuries to both of the drivers. The crash is under investigation. The Interverval home is an integral part of our community. It's a place where women and children can find refuge when faced with a domestic crisis. But now the home is facing a crisis of its own. 2 separate floods over the summer damaged both of the buildings, one significantly. As Nair Manisa reports, they're on the hook for a costly repair.
The sewer backup came through all the drains, as you can see. And came up to the drywall probably about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So what that means, basically the whole place is a gut. So all the drywall.
It's hard for Angela Rooks-Trotsik to talk about it. The Midwest Outreach Center received significant damage after a sewer backed up during a storm back in June. The building is now inhabitable.
We can't be down here probably for, I would say, 10 minutes at a time. They say no longer than an hour, but I can already start to feel in my throat.
This is where the bigger problem lies. Damages at this building will cost the organization $450,000. That's because they also found out an entire cinder block wall needs to be torn down.
We're nonprofits, so we don't have a budget for capital repairs, never mind a budget for $450,000 for capital repairs. So we're looking at, I don't think we could even get a mortgage for that amount.
There are over 13 programs run out of the building that have been displaced for the past 5 months. They've been moved to temporary locations. One of them was the Child's Play program, a home away from home for children escaping the violence, a chance for them to have some fun. It now sits empty.
Their little ones could come and access childcare, and it's like a little mini daycare kind of within the facility that the kids accessed.
Angela is now weighing the home's options. They don't know yet whether they will rebuild or renovate. Either way, they're looking at a hefty bill that they just can't afford.
For a nonprofit to have that kind of money on hand or even leverage to access that kind of money is not realistic.
Nair Manisa, Newcap News.
Students forced out of a St. Paul school after a minivan crashed into one of the classrooms may never have to return to the building. The superintendent of St. Paul Education says the fatal crash traumatized students at Reset Junior High School, and they don't have to go back if they don't want to. That crash claimed the life of 11-year-old Megan Walitsky. Kitscoty RCMP is asking the public for help in finding suspects responsible for stealing equipment from a rural residence. It happened at a location near Blackfoot. Police say the suspects broke into a building on the property, stealing golf and paintball equipment worth about $5,400. Anyone with information is asked to call RCMP or Crime Stoppers. Well, a hot-button topic discussed at the Sask Party convention raised a few eyebrows. Sask Party members voted in favor of dropping the drinking age to 18 from the original 19 years old. The vote is spurring some discussion across the province, but what will it mean for residents here in Lloydminster? Elise Cox explains more on the effects in the border city.
After voting in favor of lowering Saskatchewan's drinking age, the Sask Party will now have to wait for the consultation process so the topic can be seriously discussed. But something the Sask Party probably didn't consider, Lloydminster currently shares 2 drinking ages, 18 in Alberta and 19 in Saskatchewan. And if the drinking age does get lowered to 18, Lloydminster will see some changes on our Saskatchewan half.
I think it probably levels the playing field to some degree, so it's probably more of an economic, fair play kind of move, at least in Lloydminster.
An opinion shared by local students.
I think there will be more attractions among the city. I think restaurants and bars, of course. I think it'll be a little bit more convenient. I mean, knowing that Lloydminster is a border city, that it is on Alberta and Saskatchewan. And so I think it will benefit both provinces.
Convenience, I guess. The Saskatchewan side could have more business.
Although Saskatchewan could reap the economic benefits of this change, lowering the drinking age raises some concern.
It unfortunately overlaps into the grade 12 year a little bit, so you're having students who maybe are binging a little bit when they should be studying. But where the major impact to me is it sort of opens the door to 16 and 17-year-olds thinking, well, it's not that far away, why shouldn't I have access to alcohol as well?
And there is some division on the subject.
I guess you could look at it as a negative, just in the sense that when you lower the drinking age, it's going to be more high school kids out drinking and staying up later, I suppose.
I personally think it should be older, not lowered.
I'm definitely for it, for sure.
I don't see how it would be a big deal. I mean, it's 1 year.
And Dr. Wilhelm agrees that if the law does get changed, Lloydminster will be virtually unaffected.
I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of difference, because I think the mentality in Lloydminster is that drinking is okay at the age of 18, so I don't think that's going to change a whole lot.
Elise Cox, Newcap News.